Yes, so actually the main context of today's practice, it's separated into two parts. The first one is to deal with the math operations. We are going to generate a basic calculator that just does the basic math operations, the arithmetic operations, using the basic activity that the PHP supports. The second one is the same. We are going to generate the calculator, but we are going to refer to a little bit more design. Actually, it has to be more attractive, more sophisticated, using the HTML forms and the design using the CSS. Then after, we're going to refer to do some tasks, but using functions, actual functions, normal functions, and then after static functions. Let's start with the first one. Actually, we know how to declare variables and how to declare, let's say, values, strings, and whatever using the PHP. Let's dig in. We have 4 or 5 basic functionalities. We solved that. Let me come back. I'm gonna share my whole screen with you, and I'll start a notepad. Great. So I'm starting a new notepad. PHP body. I'll maximize the script, the font. Good. Yes, here in between, I'm going to do all the tasks we need. Actually, immediately I can refer to the echo to do task of display, or the print to do the task of display. Whatever one, any of them can do that. But before we do any task of display, we need to declare variables that they have to hold the values. For example, A that has to receive, for example, the first number, which is the, let's say 5, we are saying any number. B would receive 7, any other number. Then after res, $res or result, that would hold either the sum or the addition or whatever. Let's say $A plus $B. And then after, I'm going to say here, I'm going to change the result. I'm going to change the result to make it sum. I'm going to say subtract equals $A minus, no, sorry, minus $B, semicolon, the end. Division, I'm going to say division, yes, equals $A divided by $B, yes, semicolon. Subtraction, division, multiplication, come on, equal multiplication, yes, equals $A multiplied by $B. Great. Rest of division, modulus, mod, or modulus, let's say modulus, it equals the rest of division of the A by, wait, it's small, the rest of division of the A by the B, the famous B, semicolon. Done, I'm done. I'm going to save my program. Save as. I'm going to save in the same location where we used to save in. Let's say 320. Okay, I'm going to give the name basic calculator.php, basic calculator.php. Great. Okay, I'm going to test. So I'm going to upload my file from the same location also. Let me search the location. We know the basic. Yes, this is the one. Yes, خلاص. Upload. Great, done. Let me test. Nothing is there. Nothing there. Control U to test the source. Nothing is there. Nothing in the page. Let me come back. Previous. What is there actually? Listen, I have to bring the output, isn't it? Equal. I'm gonna say the sum of $A plus $B equals concatenation $sum. $sum semicolon. Equal again. Let's say the subtraction here, the second one, the subtraction, yes. The subtraction of B from A is, let's say, dollar, whatever is the name, subtract. Spelling, subtract here. I'm going to change. Let me come. Dollar subtract. Great, semicolon. Division, the third one. B. Division of A by B is dollar what division? And the last one, not the last one, before the last one, dot, sorry, equal the multiplication of A by B also is what? The dollar multiplication. It's correct. Multiplication. Semicolon. The last one of the modulus, the rest of division. Equal the rest of division of A by B's dollar modulus. Modulus, it's correct. Same thing. We need to bring them each in a new line, but let's test them like they are. File save. Choose the file again. Is the same. Upload. Yes, uploaded. Let's test. Sum of 5 plus 7 is 12. The subtraction of subtraction of B from A is -2. That's correct. 7 minus 5 minus 7 is -2. Division. Let's bring them everyone in a line. Let's come back. Means that's each output in a separate line. So before the semicolon, I'm going to add a new line break. It's an HTML. I'm concatenating. So I'm making a link in between the HTML, which is in between double quotations, and the variable what comes before. Actually, you can utilize this way, but I avoid, because in some cases we will not be able to bring the output to give us an error. So I prefer to link the variable to the value, what it is in between quotations. The same way I want to do here. I'm going to do here dot double quotation. It's br, close the double quotation. Next dot double quotation. It's br and double quotation and close the quotation. Dot quotation br, close both. The last br and close. Yes. Okay. I'm saving. Test again. Same file. Upload. Yes. Done. Test. Each in a line. The sum of 5 by 7 is 12. The subtraction of B from A is -2. Division 0.7 and so on. Big number. Yes, it is. The multiplication of A by B is 35. 7 by 5 is 35. That's correct. Rest of division. Typo. Rest of division of A by B is 5. Rest of division. Yes, it is correct. So it is verified. Rest division actually, it is 2 only. So the rest is 5. It is 1. Sorry, the division is 1, and the rest is 5. So let's dig in the second task, which is asking us to do the same thing, but in a different way. Do the same process here, but in a different task. Let's use the HTML like we used last class. The form, we submit the form, and we read the value from the header, from the title. By the way, actually, if you did not submit the last class actual practice, it is not good, and you are required to bring an excuse why you did not do. Good. Let me come back. I'm going to create a second file. So I'm going to start a new notepad. Let's do the same thing, actually. I'm going to design first, since he's asking us to use the HTML and the CSS. I'm going to design the input. Then after, I'm going to continue. Let me maximize the text. Info, yes, great, good. I'm going to create an HTML body. Yes. Head, and after the title, I'm going to say calculator. And I close the head. And we start the body. And then after we close everything. So we close everything, the body and the HTML. Great. In here we're going to do our calculator. The other file, we straightforward use the PHP without any HTML here. We concatenate the HTML to the PHP, but we did not use an HTML body. Now we are making something completely different. So in between here, I'm gonna first of all design the form that would be actually action is the same file name I'm gonna give. So calculator.php. Great. So the action of the form would be the same page. I'm closing the form. In between of this form. So this is not new for you because you pass through the internet technology course, so you know the basics of the HTML. But even though the form actually it has a start, and it indicates this is the start of the form, and it has an action place, so an action direction. So the action is the same page. We're going to give the same name to this file later on. And it has an and. In between here we have our input, or whatever our components, our text, our let's say page components. We start with the input, the first one, the text box input type equal text name. I'm going to say name equal number one. Okay. The second one, I'm going to do copy paste here number 2. Then after result, I'm going to give the name here result, the third one. Result, whether for the sum, addition, or division, or multiplication, whatever. Then an action, an event handler, the button, an input. Yes, an action, an input. It is type. It is submit. I'm going to use submit. Name equal, let's say, result, and value equal go. Just go, whatever, go. That's it. I finished my form. Let me save the file, but I'm going to use this name, the same name. copy, file save as, paste the name, same location, yes, save, has been saved. Let me test, come back, calculator, we give the name, this is the one, choose, upload, yes, done, test, here it is. Input 1, I can type number 1, I can type number 2, and he have to give me the result actually, more or less. So when I press go, it has to display the numbers here, and I have to get the result somewhere, whatever. Let's do that. First of all, I'm gonna bring each in a line. I'll bring this one in first line, this is the second line, this is the third line. I'll design it. So I come back. Here at the end, or next line, I'm gonna say BR. And here also, after that, it's a BR. And finally here also, it's, yeah, done. Save, file save only. Great. Let's test the function, and later on we will design using the CSS. For now, let's test the function, means the role of the function. Then after we design, we'll test the CSS file save first. Let me test the view in order to be sure that it is working very fine. Previous. Choose it calculator, upload, test. Yes, each in a line. Good. Everyone is in a line. 3 different lines. Good. Later on we will design using the CSS, but for now let's test the function. Means it has to do the calculation. Let's come back to the file. Actually, once we submit, number 1, number 2, they are in the title. The result has to receive the action from number 1 and number 2, either the sum or the division or the subtraction or whatever. Let's do that. Before the form, here, I'm gonna create a PHP block. This is the PHP block. Here before the form, I'm generating that. In between here, I'm gonna read from the title what this name have, and what this number have, and what this number have, number 1 and number 2. To do so, we did that last class. So I'm gonna say dollar $n1 equals $_get num1 semicolon. The same one for num2. Copy paste. It is num2 and 2. What is this? This is a user-defined variable. I'm using it to receive the number from the header, from the URL, from top, from here. And this one also, it's user-defined. This is for the number 1, and this is for the number 2. What is this? It is the PHP to read from the title, from here. And num1, what is it? It is the same name here. num2, what is it? It's the same name here. num2. Full stop. Let's start with the addition. So yes, the addition. So $sum equals $n1 plus $n2. Yes, very easy. Here, let's test it before we continue with the other operations, with the other math functions. So the sum has to be here, has to be in this result. Let me save first, and then explain. You see this go here? From where the go came? It came from the value. The value is go. If I change something here, if I change, for example, addition, I'm going to make this button for the addition only. I did not use space. Because of this, I did not use quotations. I did not use space, so it is okay to not use quotations. Save. I'm going to test. It was go. It was go. Let's go previous. Choose the file the same. Let's upload it. Let's test. Addition. So the value property displays what this field has to show. The same way for this result here, we will use a value to display the sum. So here of this one, I'm going to use value equal $sum. Can we do that? Actually, no. Why? Because this is PHP $sum and this is HTML. So we have to link it with the PHP. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start PHP here and say echo sum, respect the syntax of the PHP, semicolon, then close the PHP here. So this is PHP block. See exactly where I'm starting, where I'm ending. Respect the position. I'm going to test. Let me come back. Previous. Choose. Calculator. Yes, upload. Done. Test. Okay. It is given 0 because nothing is there in the title. Let's say 2, 3. Addition is 5. Let's say 7. Addition is 14. Yes, it's 14. Let's say 5 and 5. And it works very fine. So wonderful and very easy to understand. Okay, I'm going to do the multiplication now. For example, $multiply equals $n multiplied by $1 multiplied by $2. Yes, semicolon. Okay, where to put it? Each attribute each object has to have only one value. Where to put? This is another problem. So I'm going to use another field. This is sum. I'm going to give the name sum. And I'm going to use another field for the multiplication. One of the options actually here, I'm going to say multiply, and the variable here is this one. So copy, paste. Yes, I respect the same syntax. Save. There is no space here. Yes, good. So straightforward. Let me minimize this bit view to make it more coherent. Yes, still a little bit. Let me use the 20. Yes, great. Let me save now. Okay, let's test again. Previous, choose, calculator, upload, test. We have two fields here now. 2, for example, 9. 2, 9. 11 is the 2 plus 9. And 9 by 2 is 18. 9 by 2 is 18. I was thinking, yeah, great, خلاص, solved. We'll do the same way. For the let's say division multiplication. Immediately straightforward, it's easy to do now. I'm gonna do them the other 3 like this. Okay, to separate. Yes, I'm gonna do this one for the, let's say, division. This one I'm gonna do it for the division. What, sum, multiplication, division, subtraction. Yes, subtract. and this one for the modulus. Modulus, good. Actually, do on top. Still, actually, not the top, but here also. We modified those things just in a while. Let's do the thing here. Turaya, thank you for sharing the link. Actually, it is the same link. Remember it and save it in your computer. It is the same link. Remember it, and it is in the guide one. I given it to you in the guide one, and it is available in the classroom also. So it's the same link every class, and you have to refer. This is a proof that you are not referring to the classroom. You are not seeing the videos. You are not doing anything actually, and this is the problem. In all cases, Turaya, thank you for the share. Let's continue. Great. I was about to do the task of division. Let's start with the division. So I'm going to say $divide equals, sorry, $A divided by $B, full stop. I'll copy this variable, copy and paste it here instead of this variable because we need the divide here and the division. And then the subtract, we need the subtraction, so not this one. And then the modulus, we need the modulus, not this one. I'll delete. I'll bring the subtraction now. Dollar subtract equals $A minus $B, semicolon. Yes, I'm going to copy. Yes, dollar copy. Sorry, dollar subtract. Delete the dollar also. Paste. Good. Now the modulus, the last one. Modulus. Dollar modulus equals $A rest of division $B. Very good. Okay, let me copy this variable. Copy and paste it instead of the dollar. Delete. Paste. Let me save now. You say, great. Let's test. Let's test. Previous. Choose the file. Calculator. Yes. Upload it and test. There is a problem here. Did you miss something? But there is a problem in the PHP, seems to be. I'll try to check what's the error. I'm putting those things in command as if I'm neglecting them. And let's see the multiply only. Choose the file. Upload it. Test. The multiply works very fine. Okay. But there is no result here. Yeah, multiply only we have. Good. Let's pass and test the division. Okay, those are commands now. I'm saving. The command is like C++ exactly. So save. Let's test again. Upload, done. None. Great. 7 is saying none. Why? Because actually we have to initialize division here. There is no A. There is no A. There is no A. We have N1. N2. My mind still stick to the task number 1. Come on, N2. N1. And then 2. Let's save and test again. Still none. Yes, 1. Good. Division. Looks very fine. Let's test those 2 now. Remove the command completely. Let's save. Let's test. I have an error. So there is a problem here. I believe the problem is in this issue here, in the modulus. So we have to... I'm going to avoid the use of modulus now. I'm going to avoid the use of modulus now. Later on, we will see it when we see the conditional statements, the if statement. Upload. Yes, test. Works very fine. Let's make any tests. Great. It works very fine. Works very fine. The modulus I'm going to delete. We do not need modulus for now because we have to make tests to avoid any issue. So I'm going to delete this block. Yes, we need only the addition, the sum, the multiplication, the division, and subtraction. Okay, great. Save. Test. Choose. Calculator. Upload it. Test. Yes, now all is set. Number 1 is, let's say, 10. Number 2 is 5. Plus 15. Multiplication 50. Division is 1. That's good. 5 by divided by... Okay, and the last one is what? The last one is... Subtraction, yeah, it's 5. 10 minus 5 is 5. That's good. That's great. Let's refer to the CSS now, and I'm going to say it's not addition here. Just go. When you just go, because it is not additional. It is additional, multiplication, and division and subtraction. So 4 different math functions, math operations. Save. Let's use the CSS. Let's use the CSS to design them all. I'm gonna start by what to say. Yeah, I'm gonna use inline CSS. So inside the input here, before the end, I start with the equal with the sum addition. Here, I'm gonna add a style. Double quotations now. I'm gonna say the width is 100%. 100%. Full page. Save, and let's test it. If it is correct, we'll apply it for all. It is correct, absolutely. 100%. See the size. We'll apply it for all. Let's continue. The other property I'm going to use is that, see the text. I'm going to use, actually, first of all, space between this text box and the one above, and also the space in between the one down. So I'm going to say the property is the same when I say margins. I'm going to use margin top margin plus margin equal, let's say 10px, 10 pixels. So we column. And the property is the second property I'm using is margin. Save. Come back. Previous. Yes, choose it. Upload it. Test it. Great. See, the space now has been set. But see, when I said margin 100%, it given me space from here, and it went to more than the page limit. See, one bar is visible here now. It's a problem. So I'm going to minimize the size. Since I given 10 pixels, so I'm going to minimize. I'm going to say 90%, or the width is 95%. 95%. Good. It's good. 95%. Let's test. Saved, and let's test. Yes, great. There is no limit. There is no actually trespass of the limit of the page. Good. Let's continue. I'm going to give a space between the number and the inner border. How? Padding. To make it more beautiful, more actually attractive, I'm going to use padding. I'm going to give, let's say, 5 pixels only, and if it's small, we'll add. Save. Let's test again. Test. Yes, it is much more bigger. It is much more bigger. I'm going to use more big than that. More bigger than that. I'm going to use 10 pixels. Let's say 10 pixels. Okay. I'm applying only on one input. Later on, we'll copy paste for the others. Upload it. Test. Great. Much more bigger. See, when we compare this one to this one, very big difference. Very big difference. Border for this text box or input button. Let's say input object. I'm going to say border. I'm going to give it, come on, I'm going to give it the width to be 1 pixel. I'm going to say color. I'm going to say red. For example, red. What do you call it? It's enough. Save. Come back. Just choose it. Calculator. Upload. Nothing is there. It's not visible to me. It's not visible to me. Why? Because I have to specify the type of the border. The type. It is red. Yes, I know, but it is solid. I'm going to use solid this one, and I'm going to change it to another shape, and you'll understand what is the solid and what are the other things. The type is solid, so it's full line. Yes, see, it's red now. It's red now. I'm going to change. I'm going to use something different than solid. I'm going to say dashed. Means hyphens. There are actually discontinuation in the shape. File save. Let's test. Previous. Choose. Calculator. Upload it. Test. The size now is it's hashed. It's not continuous. If you can see. Let me zoom it. Okay. Here it is. You see, it's hashed. It is not continuous. It is not continuous. So it is hashed dot. All of it is based on dashes. Good. Let's come back. Great. I'm going to apply for. It's enough. It's enough. I'm going to apply for the others. I'm going to apply for the others. So just simply the full block of style. See if what I'm copying from to where all of it. I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste it here also, the same place for the other input, and here and here, paste. Any other? No, that's it. Save. I may use it for this go also. I may use for this go also. No worries. Yes, I can. But I'm gonna give for the go. I'm gonna give dashed green, different color. Make it different. Save. Come back. Previous. Upload. Test it. Yes, it is done for all. And this is the go. Let's do it for those two inputs, and we change a little bit of the design, and we give background even for the number one and number two. Number one, number two. Yes, here. Space. Paste. I'm gonna give, for example, an extra value, which is the background color. Background color is, let's say, I'm gonna give what? Yellow. I'll change later. Later on, I will change. Let's copy it for the other button. Let's copy it. Copy for the other input button. Paste it. Okay. Yes, let's test. Absolutely done. The color yellow is not. I don't like. Let's use the color palette. Color, let's say palette from W3 schools. Yeah, color picker. I'm going to use a very light color. Let's say I'm going to use a very light color. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use this one. So copy. Copy. I come back to my file. Where it is? Yes, here. For the num1, instead of for the background color, instead of yellow, I'm going to delete and paste what I copied. And the same thing for the other. Not yellow, delete and paste. So let's save. And let's test again. Previous. Upload. Yes, test it. Yes, the color is much more coherent. Let's test the numbers also. Let's test the calculations. Let's say I'm gonna say give here 9, here 6, and let's go. Done. 9 plus 6 is 15. Yeah, calculation is correct enough. Any questions, please? Any requests? Any questions? Any clarifications? Requests?
No question.
Yes. So let's pass to task number 3. Let's pass to task number 3. Latest. Yes. Task number 3 is asking us to do only the addition of two numbers, but using two ways. Parameterized function and non-parameterized function. Let's do that. I'm going to open a new file. So new notepad. I'm going to maximize the font. Great. Functions, PHP. I'm gonna build it purely PHP. I'm not gonna refer to the HTML for now. So my PHP body, here it is. Good. I'm gonna declare the first what? Nothing. Just I'll refer to a function. I'm gonna create a function. I'm gonna say add. Here is the body of the function. Yes, the syntax is the following. So I have to use the keyword function to indicate that what comes after is a function, and the function has a limit from here to here. The indication of a function that it is correct, those two simple parentheses, like the C++ perfectly is the same. Yet in C++ we don't use the word function. We use void or int or whatever, the data type. In JavaScript we use, so it's the same as JavaScript, this word function, and we have to do whatever we want here in between those two curly braces. Here in between we do the task. He said, the question said that we do the addition of two numbers, parameterized function, non-parameterized function. Now I'm solving the thing with the non-parameterized function. Later on I'll change it to parameterized one. Dollar, let's say A equals 5, dollar B equals 8. Okay, equal the sum of A and B's dollar what? In between two parentheses, I'll avoid. I'm going to say dollar sum equals dollar A plus dollar B. Very easy. And here I'm going to say dollar sum to avoid explaining and giving you more details, because we can do the calculation here, but with two parentheses. So I'll avoid that. Let's do it the simple way. Semicolon. I'm going to say it's save as function sum.php, function sum.php, same location. Yes, done. Let's test it. Function sum is the one. Upload. Test. Nothing is there. Let's do the source. Nothing. So what's the problem? Let's upload it again, and let's yeah, let's upload it again. Otherwise, I'm going to change the name. Done. Let me check what's the problem here. Let's see. Yes, great. So I I knew what's the problem. So we have to call this method. Now, actually, we declared the method. We declared the method. Like in C++ also, we cannot have the output because we are having a method. We have either to call it in another part of the program, or we refer to the method. Yes, we have to call it, and that's it. Simply. So I'm going to copy. I copied the name. So the name here, semicolon. Is a call in C++. Call of a function in in PHP. Save. Let's test again. I'll explain it again. Function sum, upload. Yes, done. Yes, the sum of A and B is 13. The sum of A and B is 13. What happened actually? This one, as if I'm telling the full program, hey, program, execute this block. What is this block? It's this function. And what does this function do? It initializes, it does the process and brings an output. Yes, so we have to call it. Done. Let's solve it the other way. Let's solve it the other way. I'm going to create another function, but parameterized. This is not parameterized. We do not have any parameter here in the parentheses. It's empty. We do not have any component here. So let's do it with the parameterized method, parameterized function. I'm going to create another program. I'll use the same program here. Control A, Control C, copy. Come back here. Paste. Actually, I'm going to modify the size. Yes. I'm going to use add fee. It's another, or addition. I'm going to say addition. Addition. Here, I'm going to pass int $x, int let's say $z. I may avoid the ints, but let's use them to make it similar to the C++. Save. Yes, I have to use different name because it's the first time. Save. Function parameter sum .php. Parameterized. I'm going to say parameterized sum. So the name is use defined. Don't worry. Save. And let's test. Choose function parameterized. Open. Upload. Done. Test. I have an error. So I'm going to avoid the use of the ints. And I'm going to use straightforward the variable only. I did not use them, those two. I did not use them here. I just declared. I'm going to use them. I'm going to replace this 5 with $x, and the $b with $z. This is the first step. The second step is here the call has to be respecting. We have two numbers to this. So here I'm going to say 5, 6, two numbers. They are int. Save, and let's test again. Parameterized. Upload. I have an error. There is a problem actually. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to use the int here. I have to use the int actually. I'm going to avoid the equal. I'm going to use the int. $sum addition equal. And another, I'm gonna avoid the equal only. It's correct. It's correct. There is nothing here. I'm gonna delete this one. I'm gonna say return $sum. And here, equal, because it returns. So I'm gonna say equal, actually plus equal. The sum is concatenation. I'm making a link. Save. X, Z. I'll avoid fully even this one. I'm going to say X here, Z here. That's it, really enough. Save. Much more easier. Did they save? Yes. Still the error is there. No, it does not have to give any error actually. The problem is not in the calculation, the problem is in the syntax. Seems to be the problem is in the syntax. So parentheses, semicolon, curly brace, equal, addition. We have addition, we don't have add. We have addition, sorry. Yes, save. Previous. Parameterized. Upload. The function parameterized has been set, okay. Yes, the sum is 11. Great. The sum is 11. It works very fine. It works very fine. So we have to respect addition, add, then add. So we have to respect the name. We have addition here. Then after here, addition with the same number of parameters, the same type, int. Great. Any questions, please, here? The last task is solving the same actually the context, but using static functions. No more, no less. We are just referring to the same solution, but using static functions. Let's do that. I'm gonna start with the parameterized. So copy new, because I'm gonna make a new actually a small modification only, new program, paste. Let me maximize the font for you. Yes. Any questions?
No, mister.
That's great. So I saved. I'm gonna
No,
save.
mister.
Okay, I'm gonna save it with the name parameterized static function. Save as parameterized, no space. Static. Okay. Static sum. .php. Okay. What to modify before? Actually, the same process would happen. Just we have to indicate that it is static. Static because we need to use it later on in the program with respect we have to refer to the function actually specifically with special care. With special care. For now, let's declare it and that's it. For now, let's declare it and that's it. Actually, it will not give us any output. Why we have to use it inside the class? Let's test it and we'll see the output. I'm gonna modify a save. Previous. Choose. Parameterized. I said. Yes, static sum is the one. Upload. We have a problem. Yes. Why? Because actually the static has to be declared inside a class, and this is what we are going to see next class. So I'm going to stop at this level. I'm going to stop at this level because the static is a special use of the functions, special type of use. So we have to indicate special place where to implement the function, which is a class. You know the class actually in object-oriented if you pass it through the course object-oriented. Otherwise, we will explain next class, inshallah. For now, I'm going to stop the record and I'm going to submit you the video for your reference. But meanwhile, do you have any questions, please? And I'm going to do the attendance also. Do you have any